Welcome to Pathways to Partnership, the podcast powered by MoveAmerica. Here, we explore the intersection of industry, government, and academia, where collaboration sparks innovation and strengthens our nation's defense industrial base. Each episode will bring you thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and real-world success stories that showcase the pathways to building a stronger, more innovative defense industry. And now, here's your host, Rick from MoveAmerica.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Pathways to Partnership. This is the podcast where we help you navigate the wild, wonderful, and occasionally bewildering world of the defense industrial base. I'm your host, Rick Ostapovich, strategic comms guy for MoveAmerica, and yes, someone who has a last name that looks like somebody else lost a brutal game of Scrabble. Hey, I made my peace with it, okay? Now, if you've been following along with your mentor-protégé journey, you've probably hit some major milestones. You found a mentor, you signed the MPA, you won the contract, popped the champagne, right? Well, maybe hold on to that cork for just a second. Because here's the thing nobody tells you. Winning the contract isn't the finish line. It's the starting gun. And that's exactly what we're going to break down today. So we're sitting down with Athena Powell, MoveAmerica's program manager for the Mentor-Protégé program intermediary. And let me tell you, this woman has more credentials than a diplomat has stamps in their passport. Over 25 years, spanning STEM education, government contracting, the intelligence community, DoD, cyber weapons programs, the whole enchilada. She's a lean Six Sigma green belt, which means she could probably organize your entire life while simultaneously optimizing your supply chain. Today, Athena is going to walk us through what happens after the ink dries, the kickoff meeting, who's there, what happens, and how not to look like you wandered into the wrong conference room. So let's get into it. So you've got your contract, the paperwork is signed, the lawyers have gone back to doing whatever lawyers do when they're not making us nervous or billing us, or maybe they still are billing us, who knows. But now what? Well, the first thing that happens is coordination. And I don't mean let's sync up sometime. I mean real honest-to-goodness planning between the government PM and the MoveAmerica PM to put together a kickoff meeting that actually means something. Here's Athena explaining how it all comes together.
So the next steps that we take are the government, or I should say also the service, because sometimes it's the agency and sometimes it's the services. So the government services or agency, PM, works collaboratively with the MoveAmerica PM. We then get together, coordinate, and plan out what the kickoff will look like for this new mentor-protégé partnership.
So right off the bat, you're seeing this as a team effort. The government PM and the MoveAmerica PM are working together to plan your kickoff. And notice what Athena said. Sometimes it's the agencies, sometimes it's the services. DoD is a big tent, folks, and depending on who you're working with, the flavor might be a little different. But the core process, it stays consistent. Now, I know what you're thinking. Great, another meeting with way too many people on the invite list. But trust me, this is one meeting where everyone in the room actually needs to be there. We're talking about serious players here. Let's have Athena walk us through the guest list.
We gather all of the stakeholders. So that means that OSBP at the DoD level will be invited to the kickoff. DCMA, who's a very important part of the Mentor-Protégé agreement and contract, the mentor and the protege, and our MoveAmerica team, which includes our PMs and our contracts team.
Did you catch all that? OSBP, that's the Office of Small Business Programs at the DoD level, by the way. DCMA, the Defense Contract Management Agency, who are basically going to be your accountability partners for the duration of this agreement. Think of them as an accountability buddy. And the mentor and protege, that's you all. And of course, MoveAmerica, that's us, including our PMs and our contracts folks. This isn't your typical, oh, this could have been an email type of meeting. These are all the people who have a stake in your success, all in one virtual or sometimes physical room. It's like the Avengers assembling, except instead of saving the world, you're building the defense industrial base, which honestly, even more heroic than fighting Thanos. Okay, so we know who's going to be in the room, but what actually happens when everybody shows up? Is there an agenda, or is it just a bunch of government folks staring at each other awkwardly until someone pulls up a PowerPoint? Spoiler alert, there's a structure. Here's Athena on what you can expect.
Typically, the outline of what that kickoff meeting entails is the government or service PM will do a roundtable introduction of everyone who is on the call, because sometimes we have additional members on those calls, whereas it's not necessarily just the mentor or the protege or someone in Move America that's the POC PM, but there's others who also may join the call to celebrate and to try to understand what happens now throughout the rest of the process of the agreement.
So first things first, roundtable introductions. And here's the pro tip. Actually pay attention during this part. I know, it's tempting to zone out when people are rattling off names and titles, but these are the people you're going to be working with for the duration of your agreement. Take notes, learn names. Your future self is going to say thanks. And notice what Athena said. There might be additional people there to celebrate and understand the process. Hey, this is a big deal, folks. People want to see you succeed. So after the intros, you get a visit from OSBP leadership. And I have to say, this part always gives me a little bit of the warm fuzzies. Because after all that paperwork, all these reviews, all that back and forth, someone from DoD is actually going to congratulate you. Here's Athena to tell us how it goes.
We've made it to this finish line and we have so much more to go, but it is definitely an event that we need to celebrate to get a contract executed for the MPP program. So they will come in and do a welcome and a congratulations to the mentor and to the protege, and sometimes pat us on the back too, the PMs and the government PMs, on getting everything lined up into this point.
I love how she puts that. We've made it to this finish line and we have so much more to go. That's exactly the perfect way to think about it. Yes, getting the contract executed, definitely a big deal. Yes, you should celebrate, but don't celebrate like it's the end. You celebrate like it's the beginning of the real work. Think of it like graduation. The ceremony is nice, but now you have to go out and actually use that degree. All right, so now we're getting into the meat of it. Move America has expectations, and before you start sweating, let me assure you they're reasonable. But you need to know what they are. Here's Athena breaking down what Move America is looking for from you throughout the agreement.
The next part of my briefing that I typically go through is I talked about the expectations that Move America has with regards to the MPP program. One of which we talk about staying on schedule and on task. When you submit for the MPP program, you submit milestones and you submit how you plan to achieve all the different tasks that are involved in the agreement. Well, we expect you to stay on task, and we speak about that as one of our expectations. We also ask that you keep most of the Move America PM mostly keep informed me, the Move America PM, as well as my counterpart, the government PM, abreast of all things that happen within any challenges, any obstacles that you may come up against, or even successes.
All right, let me boil this down to the essentials. First, stay on schedule. You submitted milestones when you applied. Those weren't just suggestions. They're your roadmap, and Move America expects you to follow it. Second, communicate, and not just when things go wrong. If you hit a roadblock, tell them. Get a new award, tell them. Hired new people, tell them. The PMs on both sides want to know what's happening in your world. Think of it like a group chat with your most supportive colleagues. Just keep them in the loop. Here's something I wish more people understood about working with Move America. You don't need to schedule a formal meeting every time you have a question. These are real people who actually want to help you. And here's Athena with some encouragement for you.
Also, during my briefing, I may talk about not being afraid to ask questions. You don't have to set up a whole entire meeting with everybody. You can call, you can just reach out anytime during the program. It does not have to be a formal meeting all the time. And then we also just ask that you operate with an understanding that you're doing this for the protege. You're doing this to better the protege. And we all will work together for that very purpose, the mentor, the government and service PM, as well as myself or any of the other PMs that are a part of MoveAmerica.
Did you hear that? You can just reach out anytime during the program. That's huge. So many folks get intimidated by the formality of government contracting and think every interaction needs to be some kind of official proceeding. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. Pick up the phone, send an email, ask your question, we'll get you an answer. And that last part that Athena mentioned, you're doing this to better the protege, that's the whole point of this program. Everything flows toward helping that protege grow, develop, and eventually stand on their own. Keep that North Star in mind. Now let's talk about the paperwork. I know, it's everyone's favorite topic, but here's the deal. Reporting is how you demonstrate progress and stay in good standing. And honestly, it's not as scary as it sounds. Here's Athena on the monthly status report.
Now we have some of the reporting requirements for MoveAmerica. Some of the reporting requirements for the MPP program are that you submit a monthly status report. I talk about this in the kickoff meeting. Inside that monthly status report, you are going to talk about the tasks that were completed that month. You're going to talk about any challenges, any issues. You're going to talk about the fact that you may have won a new award, or you've actually gained additional employees. You will include all things that have transpired through that whole month for that monthly status report.
So every month you're putting together a status report. What went well, what didn't, what's on the horizon. Think of it like a monthly newsletter about your agreement, except your audience is the people who actually want to read it and help you succeed. Here's a pro tip. Don't wait until the end of the month to start writing this. Keep a running log throughout the month. When something happens, whether it's good or bad, jot it down. Future you will be grateful. All right, folks, that's a wrap on this episode of our two-part series on life after the contract. Let me give you a quick recap. After your contract is executed, the government PM and MoveAmerica PM coordinate to set up a kickoff meeting. That meeting brings together all the key stakeholders, OSBP, DCMA, mentors, proteges, and the MoveAmerica team. You'll go through introductions, hear congratulations from OSBP leadership, and you'll get briefings from everyone about expectations and requirements. MoveAmerica's expectations are pretty straightforward. Just stay on schedule, keep everyone informed, don't be afraid to ask questions, and remember that everything is about developing the protege. In our next episode on this topic, we're going to have Athena back to dive into DCMA requirements, talk about the magic of the Project Spectrum Cybersecurity Initiative, and some expert advice for first-time kickoff attendees. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Until then, this is Rick from MoveAmerica reminding you to stay compliant, stay connected, and keep walking the path. We'll talk to you next time on Pathways to Partnership.
This podcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute legal, financial, or professional advice. The views expressed by the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily represent the views or positions of MoveAmerica or its affiliates. Always consult with a qualified professional for advice specific to your circumstances. For more information about MoveAmerica and our mission to strengthen the defense industrial base through innovation and collaboration, visit us at www.moveamerica.org. Thank you for tuning in to Pathways to Partnership, powered by MoveAmerica. Until next time, stay inspired, stay innovative, and we'll speak with you soon.